So you might think you've had a bad job in the past, but has your job ever made you cry? Has the stress been so overwhelming that you simply break down? Hopefully not, but many federal workers, many people that accept government jobs are in this exact situation. You need to ask yourself, before you apply, before you accept the job offer, can you handle it? Is it a job for you? Now the first one, this is a CDC worker. I'm talking about the Child Development Center on a military base. All across the country, all across the world, you have these development centers on base where people drop their kids off. And you could be thinking, well, low requirements. They're not looking for much. I can apply, make $20 an hour. Maybe I can use it as a stepping stone to get further in the government. It'll be too easy. I'll herd around some kids. They're just toddling around. I'll give them a juice box. Figure it out. How bad could it be? But what you don't know, at least not yet, is the CDC has horrific turnover. People are always trying to escape that for a reason. These kids will be screaming in your face. They'll be waddling around with snot coming down their face, grabbing objects to include shoes and throwing it at you. They'll be behaving like children because they are children. Many people don't understand that. They're not good with kids. They don't know that they're not good with kids because they've never been in the situation. So what ends up happening is you're locked in a bathroom and you're crying. You're looking for a break. They're still screaming outside the door and you're crying. Now, if you can handle a position like this, then great. You can go for it because there are promotional opportunities and there's military bases all across the country, like I said. So whether you stay in your state where you're at right now, or if you have to relocate, maybe you have a job waiting for you. But it's not for everyone. Okay, the second one is in the Social Security Administration. This is a claims representative in the 0105 job series, and this is the definition of low pay for high stress. You're going to be on the phone. And the people are not going to be happy with you. Somebody you've never met is going to be screaming at you. This time it's an adult, it's not a kid. And they're going to have a string of profanity. They're going to call you all kinds of different names. And you're going to be like, what did I do to deserve this abuse? Why are they calling me all these crazy names? They're doing it because they're upset. They might even get to the point where it seems like they're suicidal. And you have to carry that emotional load on your shoulders for the rest of the day, the rest of the week, or whatever it is. So these individuals, although interestingly enough, SSA is not hiring right now. If you go on usajobs.gov, you can find nothing in SSA. They're at a record low. They're like below 50,000 as an agency. This agency, you have people, the average individual over there has over 100 cases. Like if you did the math, it's over 100 cases per person. How can you make that work? You can't. So even though we're at the lowest historically for staffing, the people that decided to stay there, and I don't know why you would, unless you had no other choice, because you're not paid anything. Most of those positions are paid between $40,000 to $50,000 a year. I mean, it's really not worth it for most of us. But if you could do it, you have an SSA office there. Maybe it's a decision that you have to make. I don't know. Okay, let's go to number 3. Number 3 is an asylum officer for the Citizenship and Immigration Service. Now, the asylum officer, they're not the ones breaking up families, because I know that's a very sensitive topic for a lot of people. When families come across the border, they're not doing it legally, and you have to break the families up. They're not doing that, but what they are doing is they're doing the interview portion. So they're interviewing parents. They're interviewing, maybe there's an unaccompanied minor that comes through. Can you imagine that? Unaccompanied minor comes through. Maybe they're 11, 12, 13 years old. They're looking for their parents. They're emotionally distraught, and you're trying to record all of this. It doesn't matter what your politics are. If you have an ounce of empathy, you're going to feel bad in that situation. That's a real sad situation. That's a depressing situation, and it impacts a lot of people. They carry that with them throughout the day and throughout, the week. It stays with them. So they could easily find themselves in a situation where they're not on the clock, but yeah, they're shedding tears over the situation. And here, yet again, this is another job they're not hiring for right now. If you type in the word asylum on usajobs.gov under the keyword, if you type in asylum, nothing comes up. In fact, this job has been transferred. Most of these people have been transferred out in order to assist with the immigration enforcement. That's where the mission is. That's where all the focus is at. Okay, the next one is a tax examiner at the IRS. This one's in the 0592 job series. And what's really stressful with this one is kind of almost the same with the Social Security one. But in the Social Security Administration, what you're doing is you're telling people, hey, you don't qualify for this additional money. I mean, essentially, that's what you're doing. You don't qualify for this money. And in the IRS, you're doing the opposite. You're like, hey, actually, you didn't pay us enough money. You didn't pay the government enough money. You know that $2,000 tax credit that you put on your tax returns? You don't qualify for that. You owe us more money. And people lose it. You tell them that, they're going to be outside of their mind talking to you. And it's not just that. They could easily be talking to somebody, and your wife's daycare, it's not really a business. Your wife is just watching the neighborhood's kids from time to time. She doesn't have a legitimate business. There's no LLC. The documents aren't maintained. You have nothing there. Stop claiming it as a business. Now, I don't know if you can relate to that, but there's a lot of people that they claim businesses that they're not really businesses. So these individuals, they're on the other side of angry U.S. citizens that simply either they can't afford what they owe in taxes, they can't afford it, or they don't want to part with the money. Either way, you're the enemy now. You're enemy number one, and they will continue to attack you. So that weighs on a person as well. On top of that, this is another job that's really not paid well. Most of these positions are under GS-11. I think when the public thinks of tax examiner, they're thinking, oh, this must be a GS-12 or a GS-13 making six figures. Oftentimes, it's not that. So, anytime you have a public component where you're facing the public, it's a huge variable. The public can get nasty with you at times, especially if you're talking about asking for more money. That's what the IRS is doing, or denying benefits. And that's what SSA and also the VA does to a certain extent when it comes to the veterans. Now, the next one is corrections officer. So your correctional worker. These are individuals that work in the Bureau of Prisons. The 0007 job series, which I believe yet again is another deeply underpaid job. And they just recently removed the retention pay for a lot of those positions. These people, the workers over there in corrections, they're pulling overtime shift. They're doing 15-hour days at times. That's a lot of hours. And it's mandatory. It's not like, hey, Bob, you want to earn a little extra money? I know you have your kid's birthday coming up. Let me go ahead and scoot some overtime. No, it's not that. I don't care what's going on in your life. Oh, it's your kid's graduation? Hey, we still need you in the prison. Come on into the prison. And what happens in the prison? There's violence that happens in the prison. There's suicidal attempts that happen in the prison. Sometimes you come across a body. The body's laying in the cell. You could have riots. You're seeing inmates hurt each other. So what would it take to get you in this position? Now that I have sold it to you, what would it take for you to come on over and sign up for this position? How about $45,000 a year? Because that's generally the starting pay right now, $45,000 a year. And the government, they're on a tear. They're on this huge campaign nationwide. Every week, there's a job fair. Bureau of Prisons, come on down. We got some exciting career opportunities. We're going to pay for this training, pay for that. We're going to set you up. Your life is going to take a turn for the better. Just come on down and sign up. Everything's going to be wonderful. That's how they pitch it. And I'm not saying that it's not the right opportunity for the right person, because of course it could be. And I think one of the things that is similar with all these positions I'm talking about is it's usually within commuting distance or wherever you're at. So you have a lot of people that are in commuting distance of a military base, talking about CDC workers. SSA offices are typically right over there. Prisons, a lot of people, they're in commuting distance. So that's an opportunity. Maybe it pays more than the private sector company that's willing to hire you. Maybe it pays more than Target or Walmart or whatever it is. So they use that as an opportunity. You can get into the government, sure, and you can apply for another position once you've saved some money and you can pay for the relocation expenses. That could be part of your plan. But these type of positions, they have a mental toll. It's like an emotional labor component to it. And it really wears on an individual. So for the people that do it for multiple years, there's people that do it for a decade plus, there's people that do it for multiple decades. It wears on them. But also keep in mind that what makes one person cry might not even affect another person. I don't know how much empathy and compassion you have in your heart. I don't know how you feel about it. It depends on personalities. What is your attitude towards the job that you're doing? It's going to be different. But if these jobs are not right for you, that's fine. They're not right for many people, but the federal government does have over 300 job series. So there's a little something for everybody for the most part. And unfortunately right now, what are we in? This isn't a hiring freeze technically, but it might as well be if you read the last executive order. Hiring is limited, but there's still thousands of positions on usajobs.gov. Now, I think understanding what these positions do, most Americans probably do not. You don't think about it. Like with the correctional worker, how often do you think about a correctional worker? Probably not often. I don't think you're thinking about prisons that often, but it's a necessary component in society that keeps a lot of people safe. It makes it so you can go to bed and you feel safe at night because you know a lot of these criminals are not roaming around and you're potentially a target or whatever the case may be. So it is important for people to realize that, yeah, these positions are stressful. Yeah, they've made plenty of people cry in the past, but they're all important. And these are all federal workers or civil servants because they're serving the American public. Now, in addition to this, we do have some jobs that are going to be completely eradicated. They're going to disappear because of artificial intelligence, because of AI. Some jobs are going to go a lot quicker than others. The jobs that I would say are white-collar jobs or knowledge workers, people that primarily sit at a desk and they type on a keyboard. Those positions, they're probably going to go away quicker. If you want to know what government jobs will probably last, at least for the next decade, if you're interested in that, I want you to check this video out next. Stay updated by signing up to the free newsletter down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.